Good morning. Welcome to CJ's Old Time Farm. I'm just wanted to start talking about my greenhouse and what I'm doing out here to renovate it, organize it, and make it a much more functional space for me to grow in and be in the winter. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. I love coming out to this little greenhouse and enjoying the sun, even when it's about, 19 degrees out this morning, but the sun is shining bright and it's around 50 in here. I'm starting to get pretty hot wearing all the stuff that I was wearing to take care of my animals this morning. But I just wanted to start talking about what's going on in the greenhouse. So I finally, my husband was finally able to come out and get these tables. I'll show you. See these tables here, we had made them and they went across, I don't know if you can see all that, they went across the whole space here, and I just was feeling like it just made it not very functional. So we cut out the middle part, so because this is a southeast facing direction, these two walls here, and I wanted to open this up so I can put like my fig tree here, and then so I'll just spin you around. I know I've shown you this before, but it's a mess in here. Yeah, see? So it's really a mess, and I've got a lot of work to do, but just getting this done was kind of like my inspiration I was waiting for. Come out here and start cleaning up. I plan on making this wall clearer, and I'm going to be putting in a hotbed with composting, and probably end up putting some red wigglers out here eventually, but not right away. I used to have them out here, and then I don't know what happened. They all just kind of died off and disappeared. So anyway, I'm going to get a nice hotbed started here. That'll help me keep the seedlings warm enough for them to sprout without having to run electricity and seed mats. I do have electricity out here, and I can do that, but I really want to try this system. And I do have a little monitor propane heater we found at a yard sale last year, and we've got that hooked up, so now I can run that if I want to. But it's only January, and I don't want to, be buying propane every day. So I need to figure out some other ways to make this more efficient, so I'm using the propane as little as possible. One of the other things I want to do, this is the north wall, northwest, right up over in this area here. And another thing I'm going to do is I have put bubble wrap on here. It's fallen down, but that's to be expected. I use adhesive spray and I put the bubble wrap up. But this year I've decided I also want to add the reflective bubble wrap. You can get it at Lowe's. You can get a big roll of it. And that's what's going to go, because this side doesn't get that much sun, especially with all the trees back here. So I'm going to put that up on this wall, and that will help reflect a lot of the light back into here in the areas where I can grow things. And then I've talked about this before, but I never did get around to it. On the outside walls, there's a draft that comes in. This is a glass greenhouse, and I'm going to be digging away around the walls on the outside and placing some foam insulation up against the walls, probably about knee high. And then I'm going to backfill it and just kind of create a slope off the end of the greenhouse. I have planted herbs around here in the past. They grow into the greenhouse. I've decided I don't want to grow any plants around my greenhouse besides like hostas. I'm going to put hostas to hide some of that foam insulation. Maybe some lilies, that sort of thing, just to make it look nice. But that way there, things aren't going to grow into the greenhouse, because it's quite an issue, and it's hard to get in between everything and behind things to remove it. So the other thing I'm going to do when I'm cleaning everything is I'm going to buy myself a big bag of rock salt, and that's going to go on the inside along the edge here, and I'm hoping that'll help prevent anything from trying to grow in this year. We'll see. So anyway, over the week here, as I clean things up, I'll kind of show you what I'm doing, and I'll publish this video sometime next week. Okay, guys. I know probably to you, it doesn't really look that much less messy. And to me, honestly, it really doesn't either. But I have a better idea of where I'm going with everything. So that's good. I'm going to work on this for a few more minutes today. But after I do something like this for a while, my brain is just like, okay, I just don't know anymore. And I need a break. So that's what I'm going to take real soon. Okay, so it's coming together. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. All except for this one strip here, which I'm still not positive I'm going to do, but I probably will. All the bubble wrap, the reflective bubble wrap I was talking about, it's not bubble wrap, it's insulation. That is up. And I can already feel a huge difference in here. Unfortunately, the door slides, so I'm not able to insulate that, but I'm going to go and get a nice heavy curtain, and hopefully these hooks are strong enough. If not, I'll get some stronger hooks that, you know, attach to the glass. That's why I left that strip. And I'll make it so they can... Mr. Cash, do you want to come in? Come on. Good boy. It's nice in here, huh? Hopefully that'll keep out the majority of the draft. I have a lot of ideas for making this better. That does not involve a different door. But for now, that's the simplest solution. That's what we're going to do for this year. What, baby, huh? What? You're just a good boy. So handsome. Yeah, I know you want to go in, huh? Mama's going to go in a minute. But anyway, and some of the organization is getting there. I'm definitely not there yet with that, but it's definitely coming along, and I'm getting excited for starting seeds. I did kind of jump the gun, and I planted some match and some dinosaur kale. I don't really expect them to sprout. If they do, that'll be super exciting. But I figured, why not? I'm out here. Okay, guys. I've got it about as organized as I can get it at the moment until actually planting in here. And, like, all of this stuff needs a home or needs to be set in a different place, because you'll see I moved that from the middle of this wall. Now it's on that north wall, out of the way. Things actually fit better on the top shelf now. And that just makes so much more sense. Now the north wall has stuff on it that doesn't involve growing my seeds and my plants, because who wants to put it on the cold north wall? Not I. And these two panels, I had forgotten we actually sealed with silicone, because this used to be a louvered window, and the panes were always blowing out. It was a huge pain in the butt, and I decided that I really just didn't need it. I have the two automatic windows up above that open, and when it's nice out, I just open the door, and I just don't need it. And I have fans running in here too once the seedlings are up. So I silicone that off, and it became a non-problem. So I've got all of this insulation up that I'm going to. It's a reflective bubble wrap insulation kind of stuff. You can get a whole roll of it for $49 at Lowe's, or at least it's $49 in my area. And that pretty much, that covered, you know, all of that. And I don't want that on the southeast facing walls. I want them to still have sunlight coming in. So that's just plain old bubble wrap. It still provides a lot of insulation against the cold. These glass greenhouses, they're pretty. Of course, mine's not as pretty anymore because now I have all this stuff on it, but I was more concerned with it being functional. And I wanted it to keep out all the cold drafts. And there's a ton of drafts in these little glass greenhouses because of all the little panes. Or at least that's been my experience. So I'm much more happy with my greenhouse now. And I feel ready to come out here and start planting my seeds. And once I get it's going to be kind of a combination of a hotbed and a oh shoot, what are they called? Whew, okay, well, I'm having a brain cramp, so I'll just insert that in here. It happens when you're almost 50. So anyway, it'll be a combination, and what that'll do is it will be, I have a slant this way with a window going into it, and I'll be able to maximize the sunlight that I would get in the morning and afternoon that way. And it'll be on this northwest wall because it'll be facing to the southeast. So that's going to utilize that. I'll be able to grow, you know, a bunch of lettuces and stuff all winter long, or at least that's my hope, and I'm pretty sure I will be able to now. And I've got, you know, most things organized. Here and here I have all kinds of little pots and trays, not trays, but the, you know, the 6 tray things that you plant your seedlings in, and these are the bigger ones that I would use for like tomatoes and stuff as they step up. These are just some of my decorative items or drainage items, just things that I use when I'm potting things up, and a bunch of this stuff goes outside during the summer, so it's kind of in here for storage for the winter. You know, a lot of this decorative things and the pots and things like that. So I'm going to get a few more of these, and I have the broad spectrum lights. I'm going to be using these for my lights. I used to have some old shop lights in here, and they took up a lot of room. They were awkward to work around, and they did not work nearly as well as these broad spectrum lights work, so I'm excited to start using those too. But anyway, I'm pretty much done here for now. In the spring, I'll be doing the outside stuff. I'll do another video about that, and I'm just pretty excited about the whole thing being all done. So, just thanks for watching and coming along on my greenhouse renovation. I'm certainly going to keep you updated as I add more to it, but for now, this is done enough for me to start working in here, and I'm really excited about it. I'm glad that we're having longer days. It's been really nice today. And just to tell you what a huge difference this insulation is already making, it's windy out, and the wind is cold, and it's about, last time I looked, it was getting close to 38, 35, something like that. And now the sun is set even more, so it's probably even a little colder. And it's still 55 in here. No heat, just from the sunlight and having the insulation in here. So that is awesome. Please like and subscribe, share. Y'all come back now.